Hello and welcome to BCU Sport TV. What an eventful first semester we have had here at Birmingham City University in terms of our sports. To talk about more, I'm joined with Adam and Harrison, who are the sport development officers here at Birmingham City University, and also Mark Jeffries, our director of sports and physical activity here at BCU. Gentlemen, very good afternoon and thank you for joining.
Hi, Sabir, how are you?
Doing great, doing great. With the ongoing situation, especially with COVID and Omicron, we understand there are so many negative news coming from the media. But let's talk about some good news, Adam. If you can talk about for the last 3 months or last 11 to 12 weeks in terms of our netball team and our volleyball team, how did they manage?
No problem, Sabir. I think it was just great this September to get all the students back on court, back on the fields, playing, training again, representing BCU in competitive fixtures after the last 18 months. It was just fantastic to see, and everyone slotted straight back in, to be honest. Those students that were with us prior to COVID and those new students have done really, really well. In regards to netball, quite an eventful first semester in terms of netball. I don't know what happened to the girls. There was just injuries left, right and centre, but they battled through, did really well with some really strong positives. The first team, second in the league at the moment, with a couple of games in hand as they head into semester 2, which will be fantastic. We got a double header against Nottingham Trent, which will probably be their biggest fixture of the year, home and away. I think it's the last game of the fixture, so that could be last game of the season. Sorry, so it could be quite interesting. And then the second team, they've done quite well in the cup. They're through to the quarterfinals of the conference trophy, so going well in terms of netball. All the injured girls are now back on court, fingers crossed, ready to go full throttle in semester 2. And then with volleyball, again, a very fantastic first semester. Really got the club off the ground again. Prior to COVID, they were a club that we had kind of relatively low numbers. But since COVID, they've come back really strong. The men's team particularly have done really well. Top of their league at the moment, looking for that league title in semester 2. And the ladies' teams have done just as well, forming a strong bond between the group. And they've actually got more players in the men this year, which is great to see. And they'll certainly be a team to watch out for in semester 2 as well.
That's some wonderful news indeed. The men's volleyball leading from the top, and also netball. I was watching a few games, absolutely fantastic. The first team girls, and Harrison, of course, told that secret of their success is, of course, BCU Sport TV. Harrison, is that true?
I'm really sorry, but it was really laggy in the question there. So this is awkward technology there. What can you repeat that? So sorry.
Of course I can. I said the reason or the secret for the women's netball success is BCU Sport TV. You of course mentioned.
Of course, I'm a big advocate of that. It's all down to BCU TV. The students are stepping up to the plate this year because there's lots more cameras and everyone wants to look good on camera and perform on camera. So it's definitely down to BCU TV, Sabir, for definite.
Wonderful, Harrison. You manage, of course, badminton, squash, table tennis, football, and hockey. If you just can elaborate in the last few weeks' performance from our football team as well as our table tennis team.
Of course. So I sort of echo what Adam said already. It's fantastic to see the students back here. We're absolutely delighted to see the huge numbers participating in sport across the board here at BCU. So really happy to see that. And it's great that we've got this first semester out of the way. In terms of football, so obviously we've got the 3 teams. The men's first team have 4 wins and 1 loss. They are still top of the league. I believe they've still got a chance of doing it this year. 1 slip up will be fine. It gives them more motivation to push forward for that league title. So I'm expecting at least a promotion from themselves. The second team, very similar. They're joint first at the moment. Again, having a really slow start to the season, but finishing really high towards the Christmas break. So it's fantastic to see that all the boys have dug deep, got some good results on the board, got the points on, so really pushing for that league as well. So if we can get 2 promotions, that would be fantastic. 1 is a minimum requirement. And then the third team, obviously, they've got a lot of new players this year. They've got a new coaching position. They had their first one of this season the other week, so they're absolutely buzzing about that. And it's great to see them do so well. The football program's completely changed this year. It's gone more focused on the competition side than ever before. And we're really keen to see our teams grow and move up those Bucks leagues for sure. So football's going really well across the board. Women's side of football as well, fantastic to see them in the highest tier. So they're in tier 2A, leading the forefront for the men, showing them how it's done so far this year. Haven't lost a fixture, 2 wins, 2 draws. great to see them doing so well. I know they're keen to get some more fixtures in semester 2 because they've had a few cancellations this year. So they're going to have a very fun-filled and busy semester 2. But I think overall they've had a fantastic start to the season in what is a tough league. And the girls, they're performing week in, week out. So that's all we can ask from the girls for definite. So keep going, girls. You're doing really well as well. In terms of table tennis, now there's been a lot of tight fixtures this season. I've been to a few myself where they've literally lost by a game or a point, and it's sad to see. But again, they've got a very range of abilities across the board. They've got some really fantastic players, and they've got new players, and it's great to see that we can sort of showcase a team that has the experience but also has the novices. So this season they're sort of mid-table, doing really well, but we can hopefully I can definitely see the performances improving weekly, week on, week out, and I think it's good to see them be mid-table, and maybe next year they'll push for the league, but they're certainly going to stay up, and they're certainly doing so well. So, and a big shout out to their social media platform this year as well. They're doing fantastic across the board. So well done, chaps.
Wonderful news indeed. Yeah, table tennis, even they became like a team of the week fortnight ago, if I'm not mistaken. Mark, coming to you, you must be a happy person listening to or hearing to all these positive news and the great performance.
Oh, absolutely. As both Adam and Harrison have said, for us it was really important to get sport back up and running after the last 18 months, and we've had a really good response from all the students, and the clubs have been really great in promoting all the stuff that they do. We've also had some really good results across the board, and as Adam and Harrison have said, we've had some really good performances from a number of different clubs. And I'm sure it's just the start of things, and it'll continue to grow and get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Fingers crossed. Given the current condition, Mark, even we can't predict anything what will happen in the next week or in the coming weeks, even after New Year. But the good news is that the uni will restart like mostly end of January. We still have time. We don't know whether there'll be another lockdown. What do you think in terms of your understanding where the sport's going to be in the second semester?
We're just hopeful that we'll be able to continue in the way that we have this year and this semester. We really don't know what the situation is going to be. We're monitoring it all the time, and obviously abiding by the relevant guidelines. We will continue to do that, and we'll obviously continue to communicate with the students wherever we need to.
Wonderful. Talk about in terms of the rest of the sport that you handle, if you can give a brief to all our viewers.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so looking at some of the sports that we've got here at BCU that I've been kind of looking after this year. I'll start with rugby. So first season ever in the booked competitive league for our women's rugby side. They've actually only played 2 fixtures due to them starting in November. So they're going to have an absolutely jam-packed semester 2. I think they've got 9 games, including league and cup fixtures, to go between February and Easter. So I can imagine on a couple of occasions they'll be playing maybe 2 games a week. But no, really looking forward to those girls getting back on the pitch and hopefully trying to get promotion in their first season. They've done really well. We set them a target figure last year of obtaining 25 members, so we could put them into the Bucks League. I think they've got 34 signed up at present, and they normally pick up a couple of new students in the January intake as well. So looking forward to what happens there. And then with the men's rugby side, they've progressed year upon year in the last 3-4 years since Andy Root's come in as coach. And for the first time ever, they're sitting joint top of the league at the moment with Oxford. They're actually playing in the first game back in January, and then the following week in the cup. So I think it's going to be a shootout, that league fixture, to see who takes that men's rugby league. But no, doing very well. A club that's kind of very stable at the moment and growing year upon year.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm lucky enough to witness one of the women's game, which was postponed after Christmas due to bad weather. Yeah, absolutely. Even Fatima enjoyed the game as well. But also credit to Steph Evans, who's our women's coach, who's also playing for Worcester Warriors in the Premiership. Coming to you, Harrison, some great news from our hockey team. They love playing against Staffordshire. I don't know why. 13-0 win. Also, looking at their performance this season was a really fantastic and phenomenal achievement. I like the fact, like our Mauro mentioned in our BCU Sport Roundup, that she liked the way how Captain Warren Watson marshaled his troops. So some great leadership qualities coming from that hockey team. And also, if you can elaborate on hockey and squash and badminton, Harrison.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Yeah, fantastic news, especially about hockey. Working very closely with Hard Evan Vaughan every single week to make sure we get the numbers at training, to make sure the boys get things right on and off the pitch. Their performances in the Cup's fantastic. They're through to the quarter final. They're playing against Loughborough. I do back our lads to beat them, so really looking forward to that fixture in the new year. In terms of the league, they've only lost one fixture this year. They're still top of the league. They're way ahead of everybody else. So especially from the men's hockey perspective, I'm expecting a good cup run and definitely for them to win that league if they continue in the form and the manner in which they're doing it. So they're doing fantastic this year. It's great to see. In terms of the women's hockey, working closely with Matt and Orla as well with this team, they're struggling a little bit more. They've won two, they've drawn two. They've won two, drawn one, and lost two. So a bit of a mix of a season so far. But the girls are getting better every week. They've got a lot of novices in play as well. So they're sort of building the relationships with each other and improving week on, week out. So it's great to see our girls. They are in a tough league as well. So, you know, they'll definitely maintain the stance in that league, and hopefully they can build on this for future seasons and just keep improving. So across the board, hockey is really flourishing. It's great to see this year, and it's only going to get better. So that's quality. Squash, another absolute brilliant season so far from our men's squash team. They have absolutely been smashing it in the league. They're undefeated, 5-5. They're still in the cup competition, which their first game back is on the 19th of January. They're going to absolutely smash that, no doubt. The boys are doing brilliant. They've been to Bucks fixtures as well and done so well. It's a shame about certain timekeeping issues, but I'm sure they'll get better in future seasons with that. It's a learning curve, of course, but squash is doing so well. It's fantastic to see the boys enjoying it, most importantly, and obviously it's showing both on and off the court for sure. So that's brilliant. Badminton as well, working very closely with the coach Alfu weekly with the women's team. We actually are getting a team every single week for the women's, which is fantastic to see. We're not having issues with any player availability, so it's good that we're getting fixtures played this season. Again, they're all complete novices this year, so they're all first time into books, they're all first time into badminton, so they're really doing their best, and it's great to see them enjoying it and picking up more and more competition experience as it goes and enjoying that as well. So I expect them to do well sort of next season, but obviously this season they're learning, as I said, and they're doing the best they can. So it's great to see them just getting involved this year and learning everything. In terms of the men, they had a really shaky start to the season. But saying that, the past few games have been absolutely fantastic. They've pulled in some great results. It's a very tight league. They're sitting sort of mid to top half of the table. I think it's going to be really important for them to push on for this second semester. And with the strong team they've got now and working closely with Alfu and working with the girls as well, I think the badminton program will definitely improve, and the improvements already started. So I'm excited to see how well they can do in term two. And I know that it's a great set of squad players that both teams have got. So I'm really looking forward to semester two with those for sure.
Wonderful indeed. So fingers crossed. We all look at that very closely. Mark, come back to you. Mark, in terms of BCU's partnership, we recently had the partnership with England Lacrosse. If you can first elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really pleased to have this partnership with England Lacrosse. It's quite a broad partnership, so it's looking at a number of potential strands of work. One of the main ones is a research project that's actually being conducted by England Lacrosse for World Lacrosse. And it's an injury study that is looking at the types of injuries and the regularity of injuries that happen in lacrosse. And we're working with Yuri Hosokawa from Waseda University in Japan, and they're carrying out a similar research project out in Japan. Dr. Peter Thane and Dr. Adam Herbert are leading it on behalf of BCU, and are really making good strides with the research project. But we're also developing a number of student placement opportunities as well with England Lacrosse. So there will be in the new year a number of opportunities for our students to work with their national teams, whether it's through sports science, strength and conditioning, nutrition, or potentially some performance analysis as well. There's going to be a range of opportunities that are available with England Lacrosse. And England Lacrosse are very much hoping lacrosse will become a Olympic sport in 2028 in LA. So they're working towards that, and they're doing a lot of work around the development of the six-a-side game. And they've developed a competition called the Fly, which takes place every summer, and it's a major tournament for the six-a-side element of the game. And again, that will also develop some opportunities for our students as well. So yeah, a really exciting partnership and lots of work to be done.
That is some fantastic news indeed, for especially given the opportunity where our students get involved in terms of getting some internship as well, which is great. Mark, if you can also touch on the BCU scholarship students, where they stand at the moment.
Yeah, so we've currently got 21 sports scholars, and they literally cover a whole range of sports, from athletics, swimming, gymnastics, martial arts, a real mix. And a number of them have been competing at different national events. And what we're really trying to do is develop a strong program for them. So only last week, they had a nutrition session where they were actually cooking in the kitchen in the City South campus, which was great to see them actually getting involved and developing the practical side of nutrition. But they have also had a workshop delivered by Nutrition X. And in the new year, they will have some workshops around sports psychology and also some anti-doping work as well. So some really good stuff going on with the scholars. And as the season develops as well, we'll hopefully see a number of successes on the field of play as well.
That is some wonderful news indeed. Thank you very much for that explanation, Mark. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I just don't want to take any more because I know you all have your Christmas preparation, and I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll be back in 2022 with more sports. Thank you, Adam, Harrison, and Mark.
No problem.
Thanks, Sabir. Happy Christmas to you too.
Thank you.